Hi guys, welcome to my very first YouTube video. What I'm going to be showing you in this video today is how to rehydrate and then spread and re-dry insects, specifically butterflies. This method is going to work for butterflies, moths, any type of insect really. You can do it for bees, wasps, you can use it for like cicadas, anything like that. This is the exact method that I use for all of my Darling Departed work. So if you want to learn how I specifically spread butterfly wings, then just keep watching. Okay, so what I have here is a plastic box with some kind of damp paper towels in it. You want them to just be like a little bit damp. I squeeze most of the water out. If they're too wet, it can make them kind of like the wings get too wet and are hard to peel apart without damaging them because they're really fragile. So once I have this ready, I just take the little envelopes that they come in and snip the corners off. If your scissors suck like mine, it might take a minute. And then put them in here in between some layers of wet paper towels. I'm only doing 2 butterflies right now, so I don't need that many. If you're doing more, you obviously need more paper towels. And then just put them back in here and close the lid all the way. Leave them for at least 24 hours so that they can rehydrate. If you leave them for longer than that, they can get moldy, which is really gross and kind of ruins them, but 24 hours is good to start. Okay, so it's been about 24 hours since I put these butterflies in here to rehydrate. So now I'm just going to take them out. They kind of smell weird after they've rehydrated, so that's normal. Don't get weirded out when they smell really weird. So just kind of like very gently open it up. Be super careful because their wings are like really fragile. Their wings and like their bodies and antennas. I break off the antennas a lot on accident. So just be super careful, it's really easy to do. So just kind of grasp the body in between your thumb and index finger and squeeze just a little bit. And then you can kind of put the pin through the body, like that. And as you push the pin in, it starts to open the wings a little bit, which is what you want. And then just kind of center it on your board. And I bought this board from one of the websites that I buy butterflies from. It's called the Butterfly Company. But I think it'd be pretty easy to make yourself, or just make kind of like I've seen people use like cardboard before, which I think would work. So do this second one. Careful that you don't poke your fingers. Which seems like an obvious thing, but it's shockingly easy to do. And then just when you're doing more than one, remember to try and keep them far enough apart that when you do fan the wings out, they're not going to get in each other's ways. Like on a board this size, the most I would do normally is like 4 if they're pretty small. A lot of times I'll just do 3. And then when you have them on there, just kind of close it. It has these things on the ends to tighten it so that they don't move. And then so it should look like that with their wings up. So what we're gonna do next is take these little, you can use like wax paper or freezer paper. I reuse mine a bunch of times. You can tell, I don't know if you can see that. There's like holes all over it, but whatever. It doesn't have to be a fresh one every time. Kind of slip it down like that, and then just press the wing down. So it looks like this. And then at that point, if you want, you can kind of like reach your fingers underneath and like gently reposition the wings. Stop it. My cat's over here like trying to eat shit. And then place the pins around the first wing that you did. I usually do like top, middle, bottom first, and then do the second wing and make sure that they both match up with each other. And then after I make sure that they match, I'll go through and like add more pins so that it's very secure. I've seen some people like in videos use tweezers to reposition the wings, which I think would work if you were really gentle with it. I prefer to use just my fingers because I think that with the tweezers it would be really easy to like accidentally poke a hole in the wings, you know what I mean? So, let's see. That looks pretty even, so what I'm going to do now is just go around and add a couple more pins so that that bitch don't move. So, and then a lot of times if the body is sticking up really far, you can like push down on it and pin it in there like that. And then to position the antennas, just kind of like press down with one and then over with the other, like that. I'm always really bad with the antennas. I don't know why, but they're like so easy to accidentally break off, which is sad, but so that is kind of how one looks when it's finished. So I'm going to go up and do the other one now. So with the top wings especially, try and keep them like at the angle that they go to naturally, if that makes any sense. When I first started spreading the butterflies, I would always like accidentally bring the top wing up too far, and then there would be like a weird wrinkle right here, like by the head when it would dry. And I didn't realize for forever what I was doing wrong, but it was because I was bringing the top wing up too high, like higher than it was supposed to be naturally. So if you find that you're having like a weird crease in their wing at the top, I would suggest like trying to keep the wings out instead of bringing them up too high. Cool. So this is how they look when they're finished. And then a little trick I like to do to make sure I keep the labels on them is I'll just like tear off the little label. And this is the same species, obviously, so I don't need to put both of them, but I'll just pin it to the board by where they are. If I'm doing a lot, I'll just put it like next to them so I can remember which is which. So yeah, so now that I have them all set on here, I'm going to let them dry like this for another 24 hours, and then after that they'll be good to go. Okay, so here we are 24 hours later after I have spread these butterflies. So this is what they look like when they're done, like this. After the 24 hours has passed, when you've spread them, you can carefully remove all of these pins and the papers and just like pull them straight off the board. If you're having a hard time taking them out, like it won't just come straight out, what I do is unscrew the top and then slide the thing back open, because that way it takes them off without like potentially damaging any of the wings or anything like that. I hope that makes sense. So yeah. There are a couple different companies that you can use to buy like naturally deceased, ethically sourced insects like butterflies and moths. The one that I use the most is called the Butterfly Company, so I'll link that in the description box here. But then I think that's it. So I hope this was at least slightly informative for at least one person, but if not, just leave any questions in the comments down below and I'll answer everyone as I can. Thank you guys!